is this Samsung's brand new PC VR headset for gamers, and therefore is this Samsung's answer to the Valve Index and the HP Reverb G2, and is this the controller that goes with it? That is what this live stream is all about. So absolutely stay tuned, watch the whole video, because all of this goodness is coming up. Hi and welcome back to MRTV. My name is Sebastian Ank, and this channel here is all about virtual reality. I'm bringing you independent XR reviews, and you're getting the latest news, just like this one here. So if you're new to the channel, absolutely subscribe and click on the bell button so that you don't miss anything. All right, so let's start to talk about this here. Wow, what is this? Is this indeed the new Samsung Odyssey Plus, the successor to the Samsung Odyssey Plus? Well, we have actually seen this headset last year, because last year already some pictures had emerged from a Chinese patent office. But now, these pictures are now coming from another patent office, because on 8th January 2021, so a few days ago, Samsung Electronics got the patent from the World Intellectual Property Office from The Hague. So now, with this new patent, which just was given to Samsung a few days ago, this gets a whole new relevancy. So this is really a hot topic now, and this could actually be the answer to the Valve Index and the HP Reverb G2. Now, why did I call this whole thing the Samsung Galaxy Space? Well, I did so because Samsung also filed for a trademark, and Samsung Electronics filed the Galaxy Space trademark with the USPTO, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, on October 22nd in 2020. It got approved October 26, and the new Samsung trademark, categorized as Class 9, is applicable to the following things. And number one here, virtual reality headsets. So this indeed could be the Samsung Galaxy Space. And I want to give credit where credit is due. This was uncovered by Let's Go Digital. So all props go to Let's Go Digital for finding this patent. So because now it has a whole new relevancy to itself, I would like to have a look at this picture, and I would like to see what we can find out from this picture. So let's have a look at these pictures together. First of all, you see this very interesting kind of design. It kind of reminds us about some insect eyes, some bee eyes, or some fly eyes. And I'm really looking forward to people like wearing this and making funny selfies. Yeah, it's not going to help VR become more serious, that's for sure. So lots of funny pictures going to be coming up. But other than that, let's see what else we can learn from these pictures and from these renders. So first of all, let's have a look here at the head strap. The head strap does look interesting because, well, it does remind us a bit about the PSVR, the PlayStation VR, because we also have this kind of halo design where your forehead would carry most of the weight of the headset here with this here, and this back part would kind of cradle the back part of your head. And well, that is very similar to what we see with the PSVR, and I personally really like this kind of design, and I think it is very comfortable. So this would be actually something nice. And we have this really huge back part here, which would kind of cradle the back of your head, and I think this looks good and this looks comfortable. Also, what we can tell here is that, well, this seems you seem to be able to adjust the head strap for the head sizes, for the different head sizes. Of course, this makes so much sense, and of course, we would need something like this. Now, I assume that this is some kind of spring-loaded mechanism where you would simply be able to pull this part back and then adjust it to your head size, and then the headset is being like kind of like pressed onto your face, something like this, or to your forehead, since it's this kind of like PSVR kind of style. So according to these pictures, it could be some PSVR style headband, and I think this could be really comfortable, and I would love to check that out. That would be really interesting. So that's something that we can learn from these pictures. Also, what we can learn about is the audio solution that we would have with this. I'm going to call it Samsung Galaxy Space. Even if we're not sure yet, let's simply call it like this for the remainder of this video. So for the audio solution, we see headphones that are mounted to this headset, and it does remind us very much of the Samsung Odyssey and the Samsung Odyssey Plus, because it was using exactly the same or very similar headphones that are basically on-ear headphones. So this is a bit different to what we see here with the Valve Index and the HP Reverb G2, which both have this kind of headphone design which would like float above your ears. And these headphones are of course amazing, but these headphones here, the headphones that the Samsung Odyssey and the Samsung Odyssey Plus had, were also really nice. I also actually enjoyed them, and some people might even prefer these kind of headphones because you won't be able to hear what's going on around you, right? With the Reverb G2 and the Valve Index headphones, your ears are, well, still, your ears will still hear what's going on around you in your real reality. And, well, probably some people might even prefer these kind of on-ear headphones, and these headphones were really good. They were supplied by AKG for the Samsung Odyssey Plus, and this would be pretty good, I would say. Also, in general, I would like to say that it is simply time for Samsung to come out with another VR headset. We had the Samsung Odyssey, which came out in 2017, and then 1 year later, in 2018, the Samsung Odyssey Plus came out, and it was an amazing headset. It still, until now, is a great headset that can compete with other headsets on the market, with that OLED screen, with that good resolution, with a good audio solution, right? So, and a good FOV actually. So the Samsung Odyssey Plus is still a headset that people enjoy, and now, after more than 2 years, it is simply time for a successor, and that thing here, that actually could be it. So, audio solution, right, we talked about it, very similar to what we've seen with the Odyssey and the Odyssey Plus. Now, what else can we learn from this? Well, we learned that it does have a cable here. So this is not something like the Quest 2. This is not a standalone headset. This is a PC VR headset that gets its content from most probably Steam VR. So this indeed, if it comes out like this, is actually competition for the Valve Index and the HP Reverb G2, and for all the PC VR fans out there, for all these people who love their PC VR games like Half-Life Alyx or Elite Dangerous. That is definitely something super exciting here for you. Right. So what else can we learn other than this is most probably a PC VR headset, well, with a cable, right? With a cable. Well, let's talk about the following here. Here, what we can see here, can you see that? Here, there's something that looks like a button. So what could this be? Well, I believe this should as well be something where you can adjust the IPD. And that would be like a very similar position where the IPD adjustment knob is to be found with the Reverb G2 and the Valve Index and also the Samsung headsets, right? So I believe that this button here that we can see here, or this thing that we see here, this should be IPD adjustment, and well, it would make so much sense. Definitely, we would need IPD adjustment here. So now, what else can we learn? And now we're getting to the meaty part of this video. And why don't you give it a thumbs up for this meaty part here? All right, so what we don't see here are cameras. Exactly, there are no cameras here. So check this out. Here in the front, we see this kind of bee thingy, and I believe this is just some kind of plastic casing that you can also remove if you want. And then if you remove it, it would look something like this. So as you can tell, no cameras whatsoever. So let me get rid of my picture here. So no cameras whatsoever here. Wow, this is really interesting. And if you believe that cameras would be behind this kind of orange thingy here, it wouldn't make sense at all, right? Why would your cameras want to look through this transparent orange thingy? It wouldn't make sense at all, right? So it seems like Samsung is not going to bring us another inside-out tracked headset, and that is huge news. Probably they thought, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's not do another inside-out tracked headset. Probably they found out that the Windows Mixed Reality controller tracking is not good enough for them as compared to the Valve Index, because that is probably something that they want to compete against, right? The Valve Index, this seems to be a headset made for gamers. And then probably they thought, you know what, Microsoft with a Windows Mixed Reality system, it was just something that they don't want to have in their headsets, and therefore, according to these pictures, they dumped Windows Mixed Reality altogether. So I could very well believe that this is not a Windows Mixed Reality headset anymore. Wow, and that would be big news, and we're going to look into that assumption in a moment. So if it's not an inside-out tracked headset, what is this thing? What kind of tracking would it have? Now, I would say this very much looks like a Lighthouse tracked system. A Lighthouse tracked system, something that would use base stations in order to track the headset and the controllers. And, well, I believe that this would be really good news because, well, the Valve Lighthouse system is the best tracking system in the world with the best tracking. Now, why would I say so? Now, let's have a closer look here at this picture here. So, what do you see here? Here, this front here, you see these kind of holes, right? These kind of holes. Now, doesn't this eerily remind us of Lighthouse, of the Lighthouse sensors that are being used, for example, in the original HTC Vive? And let's have a look at this here. This here is the Cosmos Elite faceplate, right? And the Cosmos Elite faceplate, it makes a Lighthouse tracked headset from your HTC Vive Cosmos. And here you can see exactly the same sensors. These are the sensors. These are the sensors that make a Lighthouse headset out of the Cosmos Elite. And okay, look at these things here. And now please compare this again with this here. They are the same. They are absolutely the same. So I would say that this is actually a Lighthouse tracked headset. Now, why would that make sense? This would make sense because Samsung would like to compete against the Valve Index here, right? And, well, lots of people already have those base stations. All the owners of the Valve Index have these base stations already. All the owners of the original HTC Vive and the Vive Pro have those base stations. All the owners of the Pimax headsets have these base stations, right? So if you think like this, yeah, why not? Would make sense. You could simply sell the headset at a discounted price and then another bundle together with the Valve Lighthouses, with the base stations, right? However, I also think it would be like a kind of like tough business move to simply rely on Valve to make these base stations and to sell those base stations, right? Because they are always kind of sold out, and it wouldn't make sense if Samsung would rely on Valve to build those base stations. So if this really is a headset that comes out in this year, and if this really is a Lighthouse-based headset, I believe that Samsung kind of has a license deal with Valve, as in they could produce their own base stations, the Samsung Lighthouse base stations, because Samsung, without a doubt, has the production capacities to produce these kind of base stations at scale, right? So they will be easy to pick them up. And then, well, lots of people want those base stations, right? If there's one hardware, if there's one VR hardware that is always sold out and that people really want to buy for obscene amounts of money, it is those base stations, right? So if Samsung had some kind of deal with Valve to produce these base stations at scale, everyone wins. So that's why I believe that if this is a Lighthouse-based headset from Samsung that's going to come out in this year, I believe that Samsung has some kind of deal with Valve, as in where they would produce the Lighthouse base stations at scale. Right. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So now let's have a look at the controller, and the controller was also part of this patent that was just given to Samsung on 8th of January by the WIPO. Let's have a look at this. So this is the picture of this controller, and what do we learn from this picture? So first of all, very, very interesting design, very interesting. And this kind of ring here is interesting because it seems like the user has to grab through it in order to hold that controller. And we're going to talk about this in a moment. But what I personally find really strange about these controllers is, well, look at the buttons here, or the missing buttons. This is really strange. According to this picture, this controller would have the following control scheme. We would have a trackpad. Oh, wow, this is so ancient, right? This is like ancient VR history. It would have a trackpad, a thumbstick, and one menu button. Strange. This would be like the same control scheme that we have with the old Samsung Odyssey controllers. This is the Samsung Odyssey controllers, right? We have like a trackpad here, we have a thumbstick, and we have a menu button. But honestly speaking, guys, this kind of control scheme is so outdated, right? The whole industry is going into a whole different direction. The industry, without a doubt, is going into this direction here with a thumbstick, with 2 buttons, and with a menu button. So basically what Oculus has introduced. So the whole industry is going into this direction, and definitely they're going away from this direction. So this is strange. But now that we're talking about this old Samsung Odyssey controller, you have a thumbstick, you have a trackpad, you have a menu button, and you have a Windows button here, a Windows button. And what comes to your mind when you see this here? No Windows button, no Windows button at all. So this is another kind of hint that Samsung is completely ditching Windows mixed reality. There's no Windows button whatsoever in these pictures, right? So it would make sense that Samsung is completely getting rid of Windows mixed reality, so no more inside-out tracking, no more Windows button, but they still, if these pictures are actually going to make it to a real product, it would have a very, very strange control scheme. And I don't think this is going to happen. I can't believe it. I absolutely can't believe it that a modern headset would come out with a trackpad, because really, I didn't like it personally with the old Vive 1 controllers. I didn't really use it ever with the Windows Mixed Reality controllers. So trackpad is really, really strange, and it shouldn't be like this. It absolutely should not be like this, in my personal opinion. Now, let's talk about this ring here, this tracking ring. So yeah, absolutely, it could hold more of those Lighthouse sensors if this really was a Lighthouse tracked controller and a Lighthouse tracked headset. Absolutely, it could hold all of those sensors that would be needed for the Lighthouse tracking. However, I must tell you that I would also think that this is kind of a strange design. Why would I say so? So let me show you something here. These are the HP Reverb G2 controllers, right? Okay, all right. And these are the rings. Now, I've seen some comments of some people who dislike this because of those rings. And they say, hey, those rings are too big and they would these rings can touch each other, right? For example, if you're playing a bow and arrow game and you're doing this and boom, right? You have your controller rings touching themselves, right? And now think about the following. Now you suddenly you're holding this here and you have two huge rings here at your wrist, two huge rings like this, and then you try to do these things. Wouldn't you think that these rings would touch themselves all the time? I mean, that is really strange, I think. Well, I would have to see that in action. I would have to see that in reality, like how far would those rings protrude, right? And would there be the chance of those rings like constantly banging on each other? That's a really interesting question. But as it's like now, I would really think that this would be strange. If this controller came out like this, with its huge rings and with a trackpad and not having A/B buttons, I would really say, wow, that is not good. That's what I say. I would say like, this is kind of strange. Well, that is something that we will have to see if this really becomes a reality. Wow, what an interesting find here from Let's Go Digital. So this is, interesting. So what do you guys think? I want to hear from you now in the comment section. First of all, let me know in general your thoughts about this headset. Do you think this is going to come out in 2021, in this year? Is this actually going to be the successor of the Odyssey Plus? And is this the headset that wants to compete with the Valve Index and the HP Reverb G2? Please do let me know down in the description of this video. Also, do let me know, what do you think? Does Samsung ditch Windows Mixed Reality altogether? And is this a Lighthouse tracked headset? Please do let me know in the comment section. I want your voices. I want you to make noise for the algorithm, for this channel. If you enjoy this channel, give this a thumbs up and tell the algorithm, yes, more people should find this channel. More people should watch my content. And also, I want to hear from you. What do you want? Do you want videos like this? Quick videos like this, which are live stream, where I talk about like one topic only, one news topic, which is in the news. And if yes, would you like to see this kind of format more often, like probably on a daily basis, whenever there is something interesting? Do you want me to hop on live like now and give you a live stream just like this one here? Please give it a thumbs up, and also do let me know in the comment section. Make some noise for the algorithm. Tell YouTube that you like this channel. All right, basically that's everything that I got here for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you want more content, if you want more videos, if you always want to be the first to get news or the first to find out what's happening behind the scenes, then become a member of the MRTV Elite at mrtvelite.com. That's the MRTV Patreon channel. And it's only going to set you back $1. And what you're doing with this $1, well, you're getting access to lots of videos and you are supporting independent XR reviews. You're supporting this channel, and well, I would be really looking forward to see you there. That's everything that I got for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you're not a subscriber of this channel, then absolutely subscribe to this channel now and click on the bell button so that you don't miss any further and upcoming live streams. And I would like to thank you for watching this. Thanks, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next episode.